They called you weird until they realized weird was just another word for what they could never become. Funny, isn't it? How they laugh at what they don't understand until it starts outranking them. They pointed fingers when you were building in silence. They whispered when you disappeared to heal. They mocked your isolation, never realizing you were upgrading while they were glitching. You weren't weird. You were early. You weren't strange. You were the next evolution of human consciousness, and they hate that your existence proves how small they chose to stay. They don't actually dislike you, chosen one. They resent the reflection you force them to see every time you rise. Now imagine this for a moment. Chosen one, you walk into a room, quiet, grounded, carrying no ego, no performance, just that raw frequency that makes even the loudest ones stutter. People can't figure out why their chest tightens when you look their way. You don't need to speak because your silence already speaks louder than their entire personality. It's funny how your calm makes them sweat, how your stillness exposes their chaos. You've become a psychological paradox. They crave your energy, but can't stand how small they feel in its presence. And here's the cold fact to back it up. Psychological studies confirm that the human brain registers unpredictability as danger. You, unbothered, unreadable, unshaken, represent everything their ego can't control. You're not weird. You're statistically intimidating. That's why they label you, because labeling is cheaper than leveling up. The moment they can't define you, they try to diminish you. But definitions are for things that stay still. And you, my friend, are in permanent motion. And thank you, chosen one. If you're feeling this frequency echo through you, don't forget to pay this message back by simply pressing like and subscribe to help spread this light to more souls out there who need it. It's not just a click, it's part of your duty. We are a force, and this mission only grows because of you. Thank you for standing in truth when the world trembles at it. Now, back to our reality, the one you dominate just by existing. People misread your uniqueness as confusion because their minds can't process originality without trying to box it. You were never meant to be understood. You were meant to be noticed. They thought your quiet was weakness, but your silence was actually strategy. You don't chase, you choose. You don't react, you redirect. You're not in their game. You're the rule they didn't plan for. That's what's killing them. They call you a beautiful misfit, like it's an insult, but deep down, they know it's an admission. It means they've realized they can't copy what's real. You're the rare kind of human who broke free from the social algorithm, someone who doesn't need applause to confirm purpose. While they rot in trends, you're rewriting timelessness. You don't follow energy, you create it. Your aura walks 5 seconds ahead of your body, warning the fake ones to behave. That's not weird, that's gravitational dominance. They used to call you too much, too quiet, too intense, too emotional. But what they really meant was, you make me feel things I'm not ready to face. Your presence is a full-blown psychological event. People either evolve after meeting you or they vanish. And that's how it should be, because not everyone deserves front-row access to transformation. You didn't come here to be liked. You came to be felt. They'll call you crazy until your predictions start happening. They'll call you dramatic until they live the pain you already warned them about. They'll call you arrogant until they realize confidence isn't a crime. You've mastered the rarest art on earth, being both light and threat. You don't destroy people, you just make them trip over their own reflection. And it's hilarious, isn't it? The ones who said, "You've changed," never noticed it was them who stayed the same. They call you unpredictable, but the truth is, you're just ungovernable. You walk in truth, and truth doesn't bow. You walk in power, And power doesn't explain itself. That's why they stare longer than they should, why they talk when you're not around, why your silence echoes louder than their entire existence. They can't categorize you, and that drives them insane. You're the one data point that breaks their pattern. You're the bug in their system that can't be deleted, and as much as they want to erase you, they know deep down they need you. Because every fake, hollow, performative soul secretly craves what you have: depth, peace, power, authenticity. They hate that you found it first. So let them whisper, let them label, let them laugh from the sidelines of your revolution. You're not here to be normal, you're here to be necessary. You're not the outcast, they are. You're just the only one brave enough to exist without asking permission. You were never weird, chosen one. You were the proof that being misunderstood is just the universe's way of saying you're ahead of your time. And hey, chosen one, don't move just yet. What you've heard so far, that was only the spark before the explosion. The real picture is just beginning to unfold, and it's darker, sharper, and way more personal than you think. Are you ready to see exactly why they call you a beautiful misfit, and why they can't stop orbiting around your energy even when they pretend they don't care? Drop a 777 in the comments if you're ready to embrace your so-called weirdness as your crown. And if you can, bless the creators of this message with a super thanks. Your support fuels this rebellion against mediocrity and keeps this fire alive for every other misfit rising behind you. And now, let's dive into it, step by step. Stay locked in, because if you're truly one of the chosen, you'll feel the pull to listen till the very last word. Every sentence from here on will sound like déjà vu, because it's your story being told out loud. Let's begin. Number 1. The enigma that terrifies them. They don't fear what they understand, they fear what they can't predict. And you, chosen one, are chaos wrapped in calm. People don't know what to do with someone like you. You're not loud, not desperate for validation, not trying to prove anything, and that's exactly what scrambles their brains. You're the quiet storm they can't forecast. The energy that enters a room and changes the entire emotional temperature without saying a word. They try to decode you, but every time they think they've figured you out, you shapeshift. You're unreadable, and that drives predictable minds insane. Now, let's be brutally honest. Predictable people crave control. They build their entire sense of safety around knowing what comes next. But when they meet you, someone who doesn't follow their scripts, doesn't respond on cue, doesn't flinch when provoked, their illusion of control collapses. You don't play defense, you don't play offense, you play observation. And in that silence, they feel stripped naked. Because while they're trying to analyze your moves, you've already read their entire soul. It's unsettling to them. How can someone so calm, so quiet, hold that much gravitational pull? How can someone say so little, yet be remembered by everyone in the room? You're the human version of an encrypted file. Everyone wants to open you, but none of them have the clearance. You make them curious, fascinated, and uncomfortable all at once. That's power. Because curiosity mixed with fear is the exact formula that keeps people obsessed. They'll call you cold, detached, emotionless, but deep down, they know the truth. You're not cold, you're composed, you're not detached, you're selective, you're not emotionless. You've just stopped wasting your fire on people who mistake your warmth for weakness. Your silence is your smirk. Your mystery is your middle finger to a world addicted to oversharing. You've become their mental itch, the one they can't scratch, the one they can't stop thinking about. They replay your words, reread your messages, overanalyze your tone, because deep down they know you're not like them. You're the glitch in their predictable matrix, the one who doesn't blink when they throw shade, the one who doesn't need validation because power doesn't beg to be noticed. It just is. And here's the irony: they'll spend hours dissecting you, watching your every move, trying to find your weakness, but the more they study you, the more they expose themselves. You're the mirror they didn't ask for. You reflect everything fake about them without uttering a single word. You make them feel small in their own game, and that's why they hate you. Not because they think you're strange, but because you remind them how limited they are. Chosen one, never forget this. Mystery is a luxury of those who don't need to explain themselves. Your silence is not emptiness, it's strategy. Every unanswered question about you becomes an obsession in their mind. You don't need to roar to be feared. You just need to exist in your truth, because the truth, when embodied without apology, is the most terrifying soundless weapon in the world. Number 2. Fire and ice in human form. They can't decide whether to run from you or run to you, and that's exactly where your power lives. You are contradiction made flesh, chosen one. Fire and ice fuse together so seamlessly that people don't know whether they should reach out or step back. You're warm enough to draw them in, yet cold enough to keep them cautious. You are the paradox they can't resolve, the calm voice that carries thunder underneath. It's that duality that makes you dangerous, that perfect balance of emotional intelligence and ruthless logic. You feel deeply, but you think even deeper. You care, but you don't cling. You love hard, but you never kneel. And that mix of softness and strength, it's psychological warfare to anyone who ever thought they could play you. People can't categorize you because you break every archetype they've built to feel superior. You're too intuitive to be manipulated, too logical to be fooled, and too emotionally controlled to be baited into chaos. They can't box you into the empath because you see through their pity games, and they can't label you cold because your energy still heals them even after they betrayed you. You're not kind because you're naive. You're kind because you're powerful enough not to be bitter. That's what scares them. They expect pain to make people soft or cruel, but you came out disciplined and radiant. They don't know how to process someone who forgives without forgetting, who loves without losing themselves, who can go from comfort to confrontation in a single breath if provoked. You've mastered both hemispheres of your being, the masculine precision and the feminine intuition. Your logic gives you control, your empathy gives you vision, and the fusion of both makes you untouchable. Most people lean too far one way, either too emotional and reckless or too logical and heartless. You, however, operate like a balanced equation. You feel the storm, but you don't drown in it. You analyze emotions like data, understanding that feelings aren't instructions, they're just signals. You don't react, you respond. You don't overthink, you outthink. That's what separates you from the fragile and the fake. And that balance, it's rare, frighteningly rare, because the modern world thrives on extremes. They either worship sensitivity or glorify apathy. But you stand in the middle, grounded and aware, watching both sides self-destruct. You embody a kind of stability that can't be bought, mimicked, or taught. When others panic, you analyze. When others chase, you pause. When others collapse, you adapt. You can switch from ice to flame in seconds. Compassionate when it matters, detached when it's necessary. That's divine control, not mood swings. It's not manipulation, it's mastery. Now let's get real about why this balance drives them insane. You trigger people because you expose imbalance in them. Your ability to stay composed under pressure reminds them how easily they crumble. Your ability to empathize without losing yourself makes them realize how dependent they are on validation. Your silence during confrontation cuts deeper than shouting ever could. You don't need to argue. Your self-control is the argument. They can't pull you into emotional mud because you don't play on their frequency. You force people to face themselves, and most humans would rather die than do that. They call you emotionally unavailable, but that's projection. You're not unavailable. You're unavailable to chaos. You're unavailable to drama, to guilt traps, to people who weaponize feelings to control others. You've evolved past emotional slavery. You know the difference between connection and attachment, and that alone terrifies the ones who tried to own you through affection. You've killed their favorite manipulation tactic, your indifference to their approval. You're fire when someone deserves passion, and ice when they deserve distance. You can switch tones so quickly, it's almost cinematic. 1 minute you're calm, grounding, healing. The next, your silence feels like winter closing in. People feel the chill because they know it's not apathy, it's boundaries. You're teaching them that you don't have to burn to prove your warmth, nor freeze to prove your strength. You live in balance, and that's the most intimidating state of all. The truth is, your emotional control is the final evolution of a person who's been through hell. You didn't learn balance from peace, you learned it from chaos. You were pushed, betrayed, gaslighted, and broken until your nervous system had no choice but to evolve. You mastered logic because your emotions were once used against you. You mastered emotions because logic alone couldn't heal you. You forged both into armor. So now, when people try their usual games, love bombing, ghosting, guilt tripping, they bounce off. They realize too late that you've already mapped their behavior 5 moves ahead. You see motives before they even see themselves. You're not cold-hearted. You're just fluent in patterns. This is why people simultaneously want you and fear you. They sense your depth, but also your distance. They feel your warmth, but know you won't let them close enough to burn you. You make them feel alive, but also vulnerable. And most people don't know how to exist without masks. You strip them bare without trying. Your presence is the emotional equivalent of standing in front of a mirror under harsh lighting. No filters, no excuses. That's why they call you intimidating, not because you threaten them, but because you reveal them. It's almost poetic, isn't it? You carry both the fire that burns and the ice that preserves. You destroy illusions, but you also heal truth. You can rebuild people and ruin them, all depending on what they bring out in you. That's divine duality. You're the kind of energy that either awakens someone's higher self or exposes their lower one. There is no in-between. You don't just walk into lives, you rewire them. And maybe that's why they can't stop thinking about you even after you're gone. You don't just leave, you echo. They'll scroll through old texts, hear your words replay in their mind, wonder why no one else feels the same. It's because no one else can balance like you can. Everyone else either gives too much or takes too much, but you mastered equilibrium. That's addictive. You gave them clarity disguised as confusion, peace disguised as distance, and strength disguised as silence. They can't replace that. They can't even describe it. You, chosen one, are both storm and sanctuary, unpredictable yet precise. You remind the world that peace isn't weakness and emotion isn't chaos. You've proven that the most dangerous soul is the one who feels deeply and thinks clearly. That's a combination too powerful for most people to comprehend. They expect passion to be reckless and logic to be cold. but you fuse the two into something that bends reality. You can love with precision and fight with compassion. You can destroy someone's ego and still wish them healing. That's not confusion, that's evolution. And here's the cruel beauty of it all. They'll never truly understand you, because understanding you requires balance, something they don't have. To them, you'll always be a riddle that haunts them, too warm to hate, too cold to control, too emotional to forget, too logical to manipulate. They'll try to label you, decode you, even copy you. But duality isn't something you imitate, it's something you become. So let them keep guessing, let them whisper about your contradictions, let them say, "I don't know what it is about them." That's the point. You were never designed to be simple, you were designed to be unforgettable. You are both the lesson and the test, the comfort and the consequence. You are fire and ice in human form, and that, chosen one, is a temperature the weak will never survive. Number 3, the one who walks away mid-scene. They wanted your attention, not your absence, but your silence. It said everything. You see, chosen one, walking away was never your surrender, it was your strike. You don't storm out to make a scene, you disappear to make history. When you cut ties, it's not because you gave up, it's because the energy got too cheap for your spirit to afford. You don't chase explanations, you become the unanswered question that keeps them up at night. They replay every word, every look, every pause, trying to decode the moment you detached. They call it ghosting, but really, it's the art of reclaiming peace from parasites. They'll never admit it, but your absence haunts louder than your presence ever could. You're not like them. You don't scream your worth. You withdraw it. You don't argue your value. You vanish and let silence do the math. The truth is, people never believe you'll actually walk away until you do. And when you do, the energy shifts. The lights go dim. The noise stops. It's not you who lost something. It's them who realize they were standing in borrowed sunlight. And here's what they'll never confess. Your silence became their mirror. When you stopped explaining, they were forced to hear their own echoes. When you stopped forgiving, they were left face to face with their own guilt. The universe backs your exit with divine precision. It pulls your energy out of chaos like a general retrieving their best soldier from a lost battle. Because the truth is, you weren't walking away from them, you were walking back to yourself. They thought they broke you. They didn't realize the universe was just repositioning you. That's why doors started opening after you left, why peace returned, why your glow came back stronger. You didn't lose connection. You upgraded frequency. And the moment your energy left their life, karma clocked in. Their laughter dimmed, their distractions stopped working, their confidence cracked. Because your absence exposes how much of their light was borrowed from you. And here's where it hits deeper. You never wanted revenge. You wanted peace. But peace is what hurts them most. Because while they're still talking about you, you're out there glowing, evolving, protected. You're living in the silence they feared most. The one where you no longer need to prove your side of the story. The universe already wrote it for you. So when they say, "You changed," smile. They're right. You stopped entertaining vibrations that drained your destiny. You stopped explaining to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. You stopped fighting battles the universe already won for you. That's not cold, that's cosmic strategy. The divine doesn't waste soldiers where the war is already over. They wanted you to chase. You chose to elevate. They wanted closure. You gave them consequences. They wanted you to break character. You gave them silence. and silence always wins. Because while they're trying to resurrect the drama, you're busy building empires in peace. So keep walking, chosen one. Don't look back to prove anything. Let them feel the gravity of your absence and the echo of your boundaries. The universe walks with you, and when the universe moves, even the loudest enemies fall quiet. Number 4. The beautiful misfit phenomenon. They tried to shame you for standing out, but deep down they knew the crowd only mocks what it secretly wishes it could become. Being a beautiful misfit isn't a curse, chosen one, it's a crown. You're the glitch that made their fake system freeze. You're the living error code in a world addicted to conformity. Society taught everyone to copy-paste personalities, but you showed up as the raw, unfiltered version of a soul that refuses to be manufactured. That's what makes you dangerous. You don't follow the algorithm, you break it. You don't chase belonging, you redefine it. You are what happens when authenticity stops apologizing. And oh, it kills them. It kills them because your existence exposes how robotic they've become. You're proof that it's possible to live without a script, to think without permission, to feel without filters. You move differently, you speak differently, you are different, and that difference is your rebellion. They'll call you dramatic, unrealistic, too much, too deep, too everything, but that's just puppet language for I can't reach your frequency. You were never meant to blend in with cardboard souls. You were meant to make them question why they all sound the same. You're the soul version of an unsolvable riddle, beautiful because you break patterns, dangerous because you make others aware they're living in one. Your authenticity doesn't fit into their world because their world is built on pretending. That's why they laugh behind your back. They're rehearsing the same lines they use to numb their own truth. You remind them what it feels like to be real, and real scares people who've been fake for too long. Here's what most of them will never admit. The world doesn't hate the misfit, it fears the free thinker. Because a free mind doesn't buy what they're selling, doesn't kneel when they demand submission, doesn't conform when they crave control. You've become their glitch, their error message, their system malfunction, and they don't have the software to fix you. Every time you walk into a room as your raw, unapologetic self, you make the clones glitch. Their forced confidence flickers, their fake smiles break, their energy trembles. You don't even have to speak. Your authenticity is the confrontation. And let's talk facts. Psychologists have found that authentic people naturally trigger defensive reactions in conformists because the human ego hates seeing what it gave up. Your freedom reminds them they settled. Your originality reminds them they surrendered. You didn't fit in because the mold was never built for someone of your frequency. The universe carved you from a rarer material, one that doesn't bend under pressure. You were sculpted to break patterns, not follow them. So wear beautiful misfit like war paint. Let it remind you that being misunderstood is evidence of being ahead. Let it remind you that standing alone is what happens when you stand for something. You are not too much. You are simply in a world that settled for too little. You are not hard to love. You're just impossible to fool. You are not lost. You're uncontained. They'll try to imitate your depth, quote your wisdom, mimic your energy, but replication has never equaled creation. You are the original blueprint they'll spend lifetimes trying to copy. Let them. Because while they're studying your reflection, you're already reinventing your shadow. So here's the truth, chosen one. You were never the outcast. You were the prototype of a new kind of human, one who thinks, feels, and creates without needing permission. You are living proof that the universe still writes masterpieces by hand in a world addicted to templates. You're not weird, you're one of one. And that, my friend, is exactly what this system can't handle. Number 5. The spiritual hacker. You didn't join the game, you hacked it. Chosen one, you were never here to play by their rules. You were sent to break them. The moment you opened your eyes to the truth, you stopped being another pawn on the board and became the glitch that exposes the entire simulation. You see through illusions most people still worship. You smell lies before they're spoken. You feel manipulation before it's planned. And that's exactly why you make people uncomfortable. Your energy walks into a room and deletes delusion like code being rewritten in real time. You don't even try to wake people up, you just exist, and their fake realities start glitching. You speak truth, and suddenly their masks crack. You detach, and their egos panic. You're not confrontational. Your frequency is. Your mere presence forces people to face their own shadows. They can't hide behind pretenses when you're around because authenticity detects frauds like heat detects motion. You are the human lie detector the matrix can't manipulate. And that's what makes you the universe's favorite weapon. You were built to expose what's false, to break systems that rely on sleepwalkers, to remind souls of what they forgot, that they were never meant to be controlled. You don't fight with fists, you fight with awareness. You don't argue, you observe, and the silence alone disarms pretenders. You're not the rebel screaming outside the system, you're the silent virus, rewriting it from the inside. When you walk away from toxic people, the spiritual Wi-Fi cuts out. They lose connection, they lose peace, they lose their supply of energy because you were the source. You were their charger, and now they're stuck in low battery mode. They'll call you cold, distant, selfish, but that's just the sound of code breaking. You were never meant to feed broken systems. You were meant to dismantle them. And let's be clear, your awakening wasn't comfortable. You didn't stumble upon enlightenment by accident. You earned it through breakdowns that rewired your soul. Every betrayal, every heartbreak, every lie you uncovered taught you how this false matrix operates. Pain became your teacher. Loneliness became your firewall. Every tear you shed was a download, every ending a reboot. You didn't escape the system, you outsmarted it. And now, without even trying, you make people glitch. They sense something off about you, something different. They don't realize what it is. You're unplugged. You don't chase trends, validation, or belonging, because your soul remembers what they forgot, that truth doesn't need popularity to exist. You can sit in a room full of people and still feel the illusion, the desperation, the pretending, the emptiness, and your energy rejects it like a firewall against a virus. That's what makes you untouchable. When you speak, your words sound like a threat to anyone still asleep. When you love, your energy feels like exposure to anyone still faking it. You've become a walking awakening, not because you preach, but because your presence breaks hypnosis. You've made people question their entire identity without saying a word. That's divine power. That's universal design. The universe made you a mirror polished in fire, so clear that anyone who looks at you sees themselves exactly as they are. But here's the thing, that power comes with isolation. You can't fit into systems you were sent to break. You can't relate to people who fear the truth you live by. You'll always be too much for the programmed and too real for the fake. But the universe sees every moment you choose awareness over approval, silence over reaction, solitude over false connection, and it moves mountains for you because of it. You were chosen not to fit in, but to infiltrate. You're the light coded in human form, planted inside a decaying system to remind the world that illusion always collapses when truth arrives. You didn't hack this reality to destroy it. You hacked it to free it. Every soul you encounter is an accidental awakening. Every conversation with you leaves people unsettled but inspired. You're the reboot button they didn't know they needed. So keep going, spiritual hacker. Keep breaking false patterns. Keep deleting the lies. Keep crashing the software of manipulation. Because every time you expose an illusion, the universe expands. Every time you walk away from deceit, light floods in. You're not here to be understood. You're here to rewrite reality. You didn't join their game, chosen one. You outplayed it, rewrote it, and walked off with the controller still in your hand. Number 6. The walking resurrection. They buried you in doubt, betrayal, and heartbreak, but they forgot you were the seed. Chosen one, you've died more times emotionally than most people have even dared to live truthfully. Every time life threw you into fire, you came out sharper. Every heartbreak turned into a lesson. Every betrayal became rocket fuel. You've been torn apart by people who swore they'd protect you, yet somehow you came back calmer, colder, and far more dangerous than before. You're not a survivor. You're the comeback they didn't schedule. You're the embodiment of what happens when destruction meets divine precision. They still don't get it. They thought pain would turn you bitter, but it turned you brilliant. They thought heartbreak would make you desperate, but it made you disciplined. They thought rejection would ruin you, but it refined your taste. You learned that loss isn't punishment, it's redirection. Every person who left, every betrayal you endured, every moment you were forced to start from scratch wasn't a breakdown. It was a rebuild. The universe wasn't taking from you, it was rearranging you. It stripped away the weak pieces so the real foundation could form. You didn't heal to prove them wrong. You healed to prove to yourself that you could. You didn't rise to be admired. You rose because your soul refused to stay buried in someone else's wreckage. That's the kind of strength people can't fake. It's the kind of growth that doesn't happen with comfort. It happens through collapse. When your heart shattered, something woke up inside you. The version of you that no longer negotiates your peace just to keep others comfortable. That's the part they never saw coming. And now they look at you, calm, grounded, unbothered, and they can't reconcile it. How did the one they broke become the one they can't reach? How did the one they underestimated become the one they can't stop thinking about? That's what happens when the universe rebuilds you in private. You don't come back to prove a point. You come back so changed that the people who hurt you no longer even recognize the person they once destroyed. Every version of you that died left behind wisdom. Every ending upgraded your intuition. You've become fluent in red flags, allergic to manipulation, immune to flattery. You're not hard to get, you're hard to fool. You don't chase closure anymore because your silence is closure. You don't beg to be understood because peace doesn't explain itself. You stopped trying to be the bigger person and became the wiser one instead. And that's what stings your enemies most. They can't use the same tricks anymore. Their chaos no longer moves you. Their validation no longer feeds you. You've already outgrown every illusion they try to lure you with. They'll come back with apologies wrapped in nostalgia, hoping to find the version of you that needed their approval, but that version doesn't exist anymore. You buried that one with grace. You don't miss them. You miss who you were before they made you see the truth. Now you walk like you own the silence that used to scare you. You wear peace like armor and detachment like perfume. You no longer flinch at the thought of losing people because the universe has taught you that what's meant for you will never need manipulation to stay. You've stopped chasing explanations because energy never lies. When someone's soul stops aligning with yours, you let them go. No bitterness, no drama, just quiet power. And that quiet power, it's exactly what they can't stand. They can't handle the fact that you can disappear without warning and still have your name echo in their mind. They can't handle that you glow without their attention, heal without their apology, rise without their support. You are the walking reminder that nothing built on deceit can destroy what's protected by purpose. So keep walking, chosen one. Don't explain your growth. Don't defend your peace. Don't downplay your glow. You've earned every ounce of calm that radiates from you. Every time you fell, you didn't just stand back up. You came back upgraded. You've mastered the one thing most people never will, detaching with dignity. You don't rise for revenge. You rise because rising is in your DNA. You're not just someone who got through pain. You're proof that pain was never the final chapter. You are the living evidence that nothing ends you except the moment you stop believing in your comeback. And that's something you've never done and never will. Number 7, the magnetic threat. They say you're intimidating, but what they really mean is you remind them of everything they'll never be. Chosen one, your power isn't loud, it's gravitational. You don't chase people. You pull them in like planets to a sun they can't look at for too long. Your energy doesn't scream. It hums at a frequency only the real ones can handle. You walk into a room, and suddenly every mask starts to itch. Every fake smile twitches. Every insecure soul starts glitching like a system exposed to light. That's what you are, exposure. Not because you try to be, but because truth naturally blinds the dishonest. They call you intimidating, but intimidation is just the fear of being seen clearly. You don't intimidate, you reveal. Your presence alone is like a mirror held too close. It forces people to see what they've been avoiding. That's why they stare, why they gossip, why they can't stop orbiting you, even when they pretend they don't care. Your silence screams in their head louder than their own thoughts. You don't have to prove your worth. They feel it in their bones. It's your calmness that unravels them, the way you move through life without begging for validation, the way you stay detached, yet everything bends toward your energy. You've mastered the art of mystery, not by pretending to be unavailable, but by being genuinely uninterested in anything that doesn't match your frequency. You don't play hard to get, you are hard to reach, because your energy costs peace, and not everyone can afford that. Here's the thing, when you're authentically powerful, you don't have to chase. The universe starts working as your magnet. Opportunities, people, moments, they gravitate toward you because your energy is clean. You don't manipulate, you don't beg, you don't force, you exist, and existence itself becomes your attraction field. That's divine science. Energy doesn't lie, and your energy has graduated from desperation to dominance. You became what people crave but can't consume. And that drives the insecure ones insane. They'll whisper that you're different, difficult, cold, but what they really mean is that you're immune to their games. They can't bait you with attention, can't control you with silence, can't confuse you with mixed signals. You've already mastered all of that within yourself. You don't respond to chaos, you absorb it, decode it, and send it back with interest. They feel that power, even if they can't name it. It's why they talk about you when you're not around. It's why they mimic your style, your tone, your rhythm. They want to be you, but lack the soul that makes it real. Let's talk facts for a second. Psychologists say people are drawn to those who are emotionally grounded because calmness signals control, and control signals safety. But when you're this balanced, people also feel exposed. Your stability reminds them of their chaos. Your peace reminds them how far they've fallen. That's why admiration turns to envy so quickly, because you're not just magnetic, you're reflective. Being around you is like standing under sunlight when you've lived too long in shadows. You don't have to call them out. Your presence does it for you. And that's why they both want and fear you. You're not addictive because of how you look. You're addictive because of how you feel. You carry that rare mix of danger and calm, of compassion and indifference, of warmth and fire. You make people feel safe but challenged, seen but unsettled. You're the paradox their souls can't decode. You're not chasing love or validation because you are the validation, walking proof that alignment is louder than attention. So let them call you mysterious. Let them misunderstand your distance. Let them project their insecurities and call it your ego. You're not avoiding people. You're protecting your peace. You're not being cold. You're being selective. You don't hate anyone. You just refuse to shrink yourself for people who confuse depth with danger. Here's what they'll eventually learn. Attraction is effortless when it's energy-based. You didn't need to force anything because the universe already assigned you a magnetic field that filters out the fake and pulls in the aligned. That's why, even after you walk away, they still feel you. That's why, even when they ghosted you, they still dream about you. You are the echo that follows their silence. You are the lesson they can't unlearn. So stay that way, chosen one. Stay unbothered, stay radiant, stay magnetic, because you were never meant to chase anyone. You were meant to move through life like a gravitational force, silent, powerful, and undeniable. You don't seek attention, you command it. You don't demand respect, you embody it. And that's the part that terrifies them most. You don't need to be chosen because you already are. Number 8. The mirror. They can't escape. You don't destroy people, you just expose what was already rotting inside them. Chosen one, you've got this wild, unexplainable effect on people. You walk into their lives, and suddenly the masks start to slide. You don't have to argue, accuse, or even speak. Your energy is confrontation disguised as calm. You make people see themselves in a way they've been running from for years. You don't break them, you make them face themselves. And that, my friend, is far more dangerous. You're not their karma, you're their reflection. That's why some people adore you instantly, while others feel uneasy around you. Light always exposes dust. And you, being the light, don't even have to try. Your energy does the talking. When you care for someone, it feels like healing, but it also burns. Because you don't feed their illusions, you melt them. You make them see their ego, their fears, their fakeness, everything they've been covering up with charm, status, or confidence. You're not cruel about it. You're just real. But for those still living a lie, real feels like an attack. They'll say you're intense, dramatic, or too deep. What they mean is, you make me feel things I've buried. You didn't trigger them, you woke them, and waking hurts. You hold up a mirror that doesn't lie, and suddenly their entire personality starts glitching. That's why they project. That's why they blame you. That's why they run. Because in your presence, pretending stops working. You don't play in their fantasy. You stand in truth. And truth is magnetic and merciless at the same time. Here's what most people never realize. Mirrors don't judge, they reveal. You're not hurting anyone by being authentic. They're hurting themselves by realizing how much of their life was built on pretending. You're the emotional audit they never asked for, the psychological X-ray they never wanted. You see through excuses, patterns, and self-delusion like glass. It's not psychic, it's spiritual X-ray vision. Your soul just reads frequency faster than words can lie. The insecure ones can't handle that. They'll try to twist your energy, accuse you of arrogance, or paint you as the villain, all to avoid looking in the mirror you naturally hold up. But the wise ones, they'll thank you. They'll feel seen, understood, and stripped down to something raw and honest. You don't give people comfort, you give them clarity. And while clarity can hurt, it also heals. Your presence is purification. When someone meets you, their energy either expands or collapses. There's no in-between. You make the authentic rise and the fake retreat. It's the spiritual law of reflection. What matches you grows. What doesn't gets exposed. That's why people say they feel different after being around you. You rearrange frequencies without trying. You shift atmospheres just by existing. You are a living mirror that shows people not who they pretend to be, but who they actually are. And here's the irony, they'll call you too much while secretly craving your approval, because deep down, they know your opinion carries weight. They know your silence speaks louder than their performance. They know your presence demands authenticity, and that's a currency most can't afford. You've reached a level of awareness where energy doesn't lie to you anymore. You can sense the truth behind words, the intent behind smiles, the fear behind anger. You see through it all, and that terrifies those who rely on deception to survive. But don't let their discomfort make you shrink. Don't soften your mirror just because the reflection offends someone still in denial. Your job isn't to fix them, it's to awaken them. And some awakenings start with pain. That's not cruelty, that's alignment. You were sent to hold a mirror to humanity and remind it what authenticity looks like. You're not the problem, chosen one. You're the diagnosis. So let them talk. Let them call you heartless, detached, intimidating. You know the truth. Your presence only hurts the ones still lying to themselves. The ones who are ready for growth, they'll see your reflection as guidance. They'll call it rare. They'll call it holy, because being around you feels like standing in front of truth itself, unfiltered, unapologetic, and unforgettable. Remember this, mirrors don't chase anyone, they just stand still and reflect. Keep being that, keep holding that space, keep shining that light, because even if they run, they'll never forget what they saw when they looked into you. The moment they finally met themselves. Number 9, the legend that refuses to fade. They called you crazy. Now they call you iconic. They thought you'd vanish, chosen one, fade out like another broken soul who couldn't handle the pressure. They expected silence to be your coffin, isolation to be your end. But instead, you turned absence into your legend. You didn't just survive their mockery, you made it part of your mythology. Every insult became free advertisement. Every rumor became a review. They thought they were erasing you. They were actually engraving your name into memory. You didn't chase relevance. You became inevitability. You don't trend. You echo. You live rent-free in their minds, looping in the background of their thoughts, like a melody they can't turn off. You're not their enemy. You're their reminder of what authenticity actually looks like, of what resilience really costs, of what power feels like when it stops pretending to be humble. You walked away, but your shadow stayed behind to haunt the ones who tried to bury you. That's what true legends do. They outlive the noise. Let's mock this honestly. Remember when they laughed at you, when they said you were too much, too intense, too different. Funny how now those same people are mimicking your every move, quoting your old words, copying your style, reposting your mindset like it's gospel. They couldn't handle you when you were raw, but now that you've polished that chaos into brilliance, they want a piece of the glow they once mocked. That's poetic justice. You didn't become unforgettable because you tried. You became unforgettable because you refused to break. You didn't beg to be seen. You built something so undeniable that they had to watch. You mastered the most gangster form of revenge, evolution. You turned your scars into blueprints. You turned pain into a brand. You turned rejection into reputation. The world runs on illusions, but you became the glitch that couldn't be deleted. Too authentic to copy, too resilient to silence. You know what makes legends eternal? They stop needing validation. You stopped explaining your worth and started embodying it. You realized that silence is louder than statements, and peace is more lethal than revenge. That's when the power shift happened, when you stopped trying to be remembered and started being inevitable. People can forget words, faces, even memories, but they never forget how your energy made them feel. That's immortality in its truest form. Here's the part that keeps your enemies up at night. You were supposed to be a cautionary tale. Instead, you became an origin story. They didn't just underestimate you, they sponsored your transformation. Their doubt was your advertisement. Their betrayal was your rebrand. And now, every success you manifest quietly screams their names in humiliation. You didn't need revenge, existence did it for you. The universe never wastes chosen ones. It just refines them through isolation until they become undeniable. That's why you shine differently now. Your glow isn't decoration. It's proof of what happens when darkness fails to destroy you. You're not just a survivor of your past. You're the sequel that makes it irrelevant. You've become a myth written in human form. Proof that the misunderstood become the most remembered. And that's your legacy, chosen one. You turned being the outcast into being the blueprint. You didn't join the crowd, you made the crowd turn your way. You didn't beg for understanding, you made the world adapt to your frequency. Every time someone whispers your name, every time your story inspires another lost soul, every time your silence rattles another insecure one, your legend grows louder. So let them talk. Let them pretend they forgot you. The universe didn't. Energy doesn't forget who walked through fire and came out laughing. You're not fading. You're evolving in plain sight. You're the final chapter they never saw coming. The ghost that turned into a monument. They thought you'd disappear, but you became the standard. You are the living proof that authenticity never dies, it multiplies. You're the echo of survival turned into a roar of legacy. You're the legend that refuses to fade. Because legends don't fade, they haunt history. And that's how it ends, not with applause, but with silence that feels like power. You've seen every shadow, fought every battle, and turned every scar into a story worth repeating. Remember, chosen one, legends like you don't fade, you echo. Now it's your turn to pass the fire forward. Drop a 77 in the comments if this message hit home. Smash that like button, subscribe, and share this with another misfit who's still learning how to rise. Because every time one of us wakes up, the whole system shakes. Keep glowing. Keep haunting history.